It's Puretsu Pizza Power here with another slice of All Japan Beyond the Best. Episode 5 is on tap, and this is the episode that will feature the final two shows, Night 9 and Night 10 of our Champion Carnival. We are going to see what it's all come down to, who is going to walk out victorious in this year's carnival. Night 9 will determine who will be the winner of A block and B block, and then we will have the final on night 10. Before we get rolling with night 9 from Korakuen Hall, let's have a look at the standings in the tournament so far. A block, we have got a three-way tie at the top with 10 points being held by Yuma Anzai, Kento Miyahara and Rei Saito. And we've got Go Shiozaki just below with 8 points. And then over in the B block, we have got two men with 8 points at top, Rene Abbey and Madoka Kikuta from Dragon Gate. And we have got a few just below that with 6 points. That's Hideki Suzuki, Jun Saito, and Daisuke Sekimoto, as well as Yuma Ayagi. And Yuma Ayagi, he's done well in this tournament considering he did sustain a bruised eye socket earlier on. So with that said, let's get night 9 underway. And we kick things off on night 9 of the Champion Carnival here in front of 1,430 people within Korakuen Hall with some B block action, and it is Ryuki Honda taking on Daisuke Sekimoto. And Daisuke Sekimoto, he entered this bout with 6 points while Ryuki Honda entered with 4, but it is Honda who moves to 6 points himself by defeating Sekimoto via pinfall in 13 minutes 31 seconds in a bout that gets the crowd hotter and the show off to a strong start. So both of these men finish their Champion Carnival with 6 points apiece. It's a champion versus champion match up next in A block with Talos, one half of the tag team champions, taking on the Gora TV champion Kuma Arashi. Now these two men both enter this bout with 2 points each. They have not done particularly well in this carnival, but Talos will end his campaign with 4 points because he defeats Kuma Arashi in 10 minutes 52 seconds via pinfall. Decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. And we see that Talos had an in-ring performance of 34, which was just below Kuma Arashi's performance of 36. Hot crowd at the end of this one. Flipping back over to the B block, and we've got Zion versus Yuma Ayagi. Zion enters this one with 4 points, while Yuma Ayagi has managed to pick up 6 points during his carnival campaign, despite dealing with his injury. So pretty impressive goings by Yuma Ayagi. And as you can see from the in-ring performances, Yuma was the standout in-ring performer here. But in what could be considered an upset perhaps, it is Zion who is the victor here, and he will now end his campaign also with 6 points. The crowd was hot for this one, white hot crowd going into our next contest. And it's an all havoc affair here in A block in a weak contest. Odyssey manages to defeat Go Shiozaki. Go Shiozaki entered this with 8 points. That will be the score he ends his campaign with, while Odyssey moves from 4 points to 6. And this was subpar wrestling, as could probably be expected in a bout featuring Odyssey. And as we can see, not even Go Shiozaki could get anything good out of this one. Still, very hot crowd despite that. Moving on. Some stronger stuff here in the B block. A decent match. Jun Saito defeats Hideki Suzuki. Both of these men entered this contest with 6 points each, but it is Jun Saito who moves to 8 points, and that will be what he finishes his campaign with. The crowd are very hot after this one, and Jun Saito, he did benefit from having a groundswell of public support, and he had an in-ring performance of 47, while Hideki Suzuki was the better in-ring performer with a performance of 55. 58 segment rating overall. Okay, so a significant bout here in A block, and it's a decent match with Kengo Mishimo playing spoiler by beating Kento Miyahara in 18 minutes 35 by pinfall with a shinkin. So yeah, gasps in the audience with Kento losing this one, and Kengo has definitely been the spoiler here. He's had a pretty poor carnival, but he manages to get a strong victory here, securing himself a future shot at the Triple Crown. But Kento Miyahara, he stays at 10 points, and now it is everything to play for in the A block between Yuma Anzai and Rei Saito in the main event of the show. So Kento Miyahara will not be making it to the finals of the Champion Carnival. Alrighty, so in the B block, it has come down to this. The Open the Dream Gate champion from Dragon Gate, Madoka Kakuta, taking on the Titan of Calamity and tag team champion Ren A. Abbey. And these two both entered with 8 points. So to get the 10 points score total and the victory in B block, it is Madoka Kakuta putting Ren A. Abbey away with a harsh discus lariat in 21 minutes 57 seconds. A decent match. So Madoka Kakuta, he has secured his spot in the final, and we will find out next in the final bout from the A block who he will meet in that final. Will it be Rai Sato or will it be Yuma Anzai? And in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, it was Yuma Anzai defeating Rai Sato to win the A block. These men both entered with 10 points, but Yuma Anzai manages to move to 12 and defeats last year's winner of the entire carnival, Rai Sato. So Yuma Anzai has secured his spot in the final, and he will take on the B block winner, the Dragon Gate representative, Madoka Kakuta. So one thing to bear in mind regarding Yuma Anzai is, regardless of the outcome of the Champion Carnival, he has guaranteed himself a shot at Kento Miyahara's Triple Crown, because he did beat Kento Miyahara earlier in the carnival. So really, Yuma Anzai is in a fantastic position. Whereas Madoka Kakuta, he's come in as a representative from an outside organisation, and he has blazed through to the final, and if he wins the carnival, we could very well have a champion v champion, promotion versus promotion bout that would be very intriguing between Miyahara and Kakuta. So this match got the crowd buzzing, and Rai Sato was in amazing form, and Yuma Anzai benefited from having a groundswell of public support, and Yuma was by far the better in-ring performer with a 50 performance rating, 46 overall, and the final show rating is a 48. We now move on to the final night of the Champion Carnival. Before we move on to the final, let's just have a look at the final standings in A block and B block. So there we have our winner, Yuma Anzai, with 12 points. Rai Sato and Kento Miyahara both finished below that with 10. Then with 8, it was Go Shiozaki. So those were the standout 4. And we had Odyssey doing probably better than expected with 6 points, and the weakest performer in A block was Kuma Arashi, who only managed to get 2 points in his campaign. And Talos, he was struggling as well, but he did manage to get that final win in his final block bout to move to 4. Looking at B block, we see that the winner was Madoka Kakuta with 10 points. And then with 8 points, we had both Ren A. Abbey and Jun Saito. And then we had a fair few, pretty much everybody else was with 6 points. So a very competitive block B block was this year. It's come down to this. In front of 1,854 people in Ottawa Gymnasium, it's the 2026 All Japan Pro Wrestling Champion Carnival Final, and we kick off the night with a tag team bout with the Saito brothers reunited, Ray and Jun, taking on the Bakano Jidai team of Funimura Abe and Daisuke Sekimoto. And it's a good bout with decent reaction from the crowd, gets the crowd hotter to get the show off to a strong start, and the Saito brothers get the win when Jun Saito pins Funimura Abe in 14 minutes 24 seconds. And the standout performer in this match, it was actually Fuminura Abe with an in-ring performance of 60, quite impressive there. And Rai Sato wasn't too far behind with a performance of 55, 48 segment rating overall. Next up, it's a 6-man tag team encounter, and it's a decent one with Yuma Ayagi and the Hokuto-kun duo of Hokuto Omori and Jack Kennedy defeating Shotaro Ishino and the Evolution duo of Hideki Suzuki, and making his first appearance in this save, Suwama. The match finished in 13 minutes 59 when Yuma Ayagi pinned Suwama, and Suwama was not very happy. He was quite grumpy at the finish of this one. When he's been away from All Japan, he hasn't been on this tour, he wanted to come back back with a win, and to be the losing participant on the losing team, it did not sit well with Suema. He was very grumpy. But the story here is Yuma Ayagi has got a win now just on this Champion Carnival tour over two members of the All Japan six-man tag team champions, because he defeated Hideki Suzuki in the Champion Carnival. So potential seeds planted for Yuma Ayagi to get two guys and form a trio to potentially challenge for the six-man tag team titles, because I don't think he holds a win over Dan Tamori yet on this save, but two of the three of the champions, that's impressive going for Yuma Ayagi. And I did get the notification before this show that Yuma has been given the all clear from his recent injury, so he should be all systems go from here on out. More six-man tag team action next, and it is the Havoc trio of Go Shiozaki, Odyssey and Zion defeating Kuma Arashi and the Titans of Calamity in 13 minutes 36 seconds when Go Shiozaki pinned Talos with a short-range strong arm lariat. The reaction from the crowd was decent, but the wrestling was subpar. Looking at the performance stats, Ren Ayabe was actually the best performer in this one. The match was too short for an important match in the eyes of our audience, but we've got better matches to come, so hopefully that should make the crowd happy. Very hot crowd heat at the end of this one, and a 42 rating overall. We've got a strong tag team encounter up next in a bout that has good wrestling and a decent reaction from the fans. Kento Miyahara and Ryuki Honda, they defeat the Bakano Jidai team of Kengo Mishimo and Yuko Miyamoto in 15 minutes 53 when Kento Miyahara pins Yuko Miyamoto after a shutdown German suplex hold. And the story here is the ongoing tensions between Kento Miyahara and a man who got a surprise victory over him on the final day of block action in the carnival, that being Kengo Mishimo. So Kengo Mishimo is one of two men right now who is guaranteed a shot at Kento Miyahara's Triple Crown. The other, of course, being Yuma and Zion, regardless of whether Yuma wins the final of the Champion Carnival later on this show, because he did defeat, as we remember, Kento Miyahara in their block bout in the Champion Carnival. So this one got the crowd buzzing, and Kento looked good as usual out there. It's the World Junior Heavyweight title on the line next, because we have been seeing on some of the undercard bouts on this tour, Dan Tamura has been getting the better of the champion Seigo Tachibana in a few instances, including getting a victory over him in the very first night of the tour. Unfortunately, Dan Tamura cannot capitalise on the momentum he's been building up, because in the time of 18 minutes 9 seconds, Seigo Tachibana manages to retain the junior title, and a 49 rating for this one. The crowd was very hot, decent stuff. Alrighty, so there's a bit of a story regarding this All Asia Tag Team title match and why we're having it here and now. So we're going to go by the presumption with this save that, as in reality, Rising Hayato and Atsuki Ayagi, they would have won the Zenjichi Junior Tag Festival to earn themselves a future shot at the All Asia Tag Team titles held by Don Fuji and Masaki Mochizuki. However, in reality, the All Asia Tag Team titles have took a bit of a tour. They're currently residing in Dragon Gate, where they were won by the duo of HAGE himself, Genki Horiguchi, and Yasushi Kanda. So that's not happened for us, obviously. So the match is going to happen as it's not happened in reality yet. It's happening here. So Rising Hayato and Atsuki Ayagi are now the brand new All Asia Tag Team titles, defeating Don Fuji and Masaki Mochizuki in a decent encounter. And the performance of the match was from Atsuki Ayagi. Oh, sorry, I'm mistaken. It was from Mochizuki, actually, with a 49. Atsuki Ayagi was with a 46. So the match was a little too short. We are getting that notification a lot, but we wanted to make more time for the big bout later on, our Champion Carnival final. Very hot crowd regarding this, and we've got brand new All Asia Tag Team title holders now in Rising Hayato and Atsuki Ayagi. It's time for our Champion Carnival final, but first we have a bit of a surprise. The fans are shocked to hear the sounds of Kazini Nare play throughout the venue. Gasps from the crowd are then heard as the king himself, Minoru Suzuki, steps out from the entrance curtain. He hasn't been seen in All Japan for a while, and he wasn't announced to be here tonight. The two-time Champion Carnival winner and the former Triple Crown holder steps into the ring and pauses with a look of emotion. as he reaches down and touches the All Japan Pro Wrestling logo on the canvas. That emotion quickly turns to one of menace as Suzuki sports a menacing grin as he looks around the crowd before taking a seat reserved for him at ringside. Seems the legend has a clear interest in watching the Champion Carnival final that is about to take place. In a bout with good heat and decent wrestling, Yuma Anzai defeats Madoka Kakuta in 23 minutes 14 minutes by pinfall. Everything about this match was designed to give it an epic feel in the eyes of the fans. 46 rating. Would have liked a better performance than that, but the crowd enjoyed it. The crowd were very hot, and that's what counts given the size of the company we are. And Yuma Anzai has won the Champion Carnival for the first time in his career. Massive win for Anzai, and he has managed to maximise on the wave of momentum that he has had from the very beginning of this tour, and he's won the big one. And the crowd were buzzing at the end of this, and Yuma Anzai really did benefit from having a groundswell of public support. It's a shame that Madoka Kakuta was off his game in this one, only having a performance of 41. Following the bout, Yuma Anzai celebrates his victory after being handed the Champion Carnival trophy. Anzai takes the microphone to tell the fans that it's the support that they gave him that took his drive to the next level, to go all the way in the carnival, and now it's about what comes next, and that's the fulfillment of potential. By setting the evolution of the King's Road in stone, by defeating Kento Miyahara when it counts, with the Triple Crown on the line. Anzai says that he's heard Miyahara calling himself the Grand Conductor recently. Well, says Anzai, it doesn't matter how grand of a conductor one is if they're intent on playing the same old tune time after time. Anzai says that Miyahara has been an amazing ace, and he deserves a rest from the pressure of being on top for so long, because it's soon going to be time for All Japan Pro Wrestling to rest on fresher shoulders. Kento Miyahara, of course, he can't stay away after hearing comments like that. He walks out to the ringside area to confront Yuma Anzai. Miyahara says that for as good as Yuma Anzai is, he already feels like he's felt him at his best. But Anzai cannot say the same in reverse. He cannot say the same about the Grand Conductor. Kento says that Yuma Anzai has awoken something within him that even he himself doesn't know the full potential of. But he is assured that a new level within him has been activated. A brand new version of Kento Miyahara that is more dangerous than any that has ever been seen before. With this new level, it's a level that he assures Yuma Anzai that he won't be able to overcome. Meanwhile, at ringside, Minoru Suzuki was sat watching this, and when Miyahara and Anzai engaged in an intense stare down following this verbal interaction, Minoru Suzuki stood up from his chair at ringside, glared at Miyahara, glared at Anzai, smirked, and then left. So whatever Minoru Suzuki's reasoning for being there tonight, was he just there to watch the Champion Carnival? But you've got to think there must be something more going on within the mind of Minoru Suzuki. Kento Miyahara clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script, performing well, and Yuma Anzai benefited from having a groundswell of public support. 54 segment rating, ending the show with a very hot crowd. And overall, we have a 50 rated show that increases our popularity in 8 regions. So a success, even though some of the matches didn't quite live up to the scores that I would have hoped for. Overall, the show delivered. It was not a bad show there, and we got the popularity increase. So good-o there. So we go full force forward now towards Yuma Anzai. He will be getting that Triple Crown title shot against Kento Miyahara, and he will be the first in line to get that shot given that he's won the Champion Carnival. So whether it's Miyahara retaining or Yuma Anzai becoming the new champion, we will see Kengo Mishima get a shot later down the road. So thank you for joining us. This has been the Champion Carnival concluded, and we'll be back with more All Japan action. The story is just getting started as we go beyond the best.